so our beautiful angel friends, here we are for a very, very special program with Anayah on Sandalphon. So I asked specifically Anayah to be with me to talk about Sandalphon because she is a great expert of archangels. And Archangel Sandalphon is very, very dear to me. So I really wanted to devote to him a whole program because he really deserves it, because he is the archangel who can actually help us fulfill our, greatest desires, whatever we wish. And that's so important. So, Anayah, thank you very much for accepting my invitation. I'm so happy to have you here. And you are a great master in archangels, and I'm sure you have wonderful stories to share about Sandalphon.
Thank you. I'll describe myself as a great master, but it's very nice. Thank you. And it's lovely to be here, Syl Ver. Thank you. And hello, everyone. It's wonderful to share this beautiful information with you. It's such a life-changing experience when we start to really connect and work with the angels and archangels, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that it is so important to share experience, hands-on experience on how you can connect with angels, and especially what they can do in our everyday life. Because sometimes we think of angels as airy fairy things, as something that only belongs to the spiritual world or to, the fantasy world. But no, they can really help us live better in our reality, 3D reality, every single day. And really, Archangel Sandalphon is able to do it also because according to the tradition, he is one of the few archangels who was actually on earth, and he was a prophet. And so he knows very well what it means to be human, what it means to have all the wonders of being human and having a body and being in this beautiful universe, but also the limitations and the constraints that we have. And so he knows very well, and he intimately understands our issues, isn't it, Anayah?
Absolutely. And that is such a beautiful thing for us, because we have that deep connection already, even if you've never heard of Sandalphon before. Maybe this is the very first time you're going to experience Sandalphon, but that connection exists and it's available at all times, Syl Ver. And and Sandalphon's so patient. He will wait until we're ready. He will be with us.
Yes.
But when we're ready to connect, it's like when a mother lovingly picks up a child who's fallen to their knees and is crying, that instant, gentle, that's it.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And this happened to me because I have known Sandalphon for a long, long time, but he was not the archangel I would call first. I mean, I didn't have a constant relationship. Actually, I didn't know him very well. But then one day, I don't know why, I don't remember why, I was just resting on my bed, and I something came into my mind, and I asked Archangel Sandalphon, if you're here, can you please show me you're here? And I actually felt a wonderful caress on my face, but so gentle, so loving that I mean, the whole room was full of love, gentle, wonderful, nurturing love. And it's true, it's like a mother, but I have the feeling that we were talking before, and Anayah told me that she feels that the energy of this archangel may sometimes feminine, sometimes it's masculine. For me, it's mainly masculine, but that on that occasion, it was like the most amazing, wonderful mother that you can desire, isn't it, Anayah?
Wonderful. It's really beautiful. And people are struggling and suffering in so many different ways, and to have that energy readily available, and all we need to do is ask for it.
Absolutely.
The comfort, the care, the compassion, the support, it's bigger than I can express how I feel about that.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And since then, I've always I always call upon Archangel Sandalphon every single day in my morning intentions. And later I will guide you to a very short intention meditation for Archangel Sandalphon. And it's amazing because Archangel Sandalphon, his main, at least for me, I mean, his main task is to bring our desires and prayers into heavens, into the quantum field, so that they can be fulfilled. And there are different things that happen when I call upon Archangel Sandalphon, because when I ask him for something, sometimes I immediately have the feeling that that prayer has already been fulfilled, because it's like I am filled with, you know, such a wonderful energy of peace and relaxation, and, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm elated. So, and that is the sign that that prayer has already been fulfilled. Sometimes this does not happen. Of course, I'm a very impatient person. So I would like to see my prayer fulfilled after 2 minutes. And sometimes I get a little bit, oh, it's not happening. That is terrible. And, but you know, you have to be patient,
Yeah.
because maybe that is not the moment in which that prayer has to be fulfilled. There are not the right conditions. We don't know. That is so important, to let it go and to ask Archangel Sandalphon to fulfill your wishes, but according to divine plan, not according to our human understanding, because we do not see the bigger picture. That is the problem, isn't
Yep.
it?
That's exactly right. And because we're here to experience what we consider to be limitation and lack, you know, because that's in the physical realm, the earthly realm and understanding, we've come to experience that and learn how to work beyond that and experience beyond that, to remember having that sense of impatience is absolutely typical of us as human beings. And I'm the same. It's like, okay, all right, where is it?
Exactly.
And and it's a really good thing, actually, because at the time while we're waiting and feeling impatient, what's happening is, because we're learning to ask, learning to release expectation, and learning to be willing to wait, which is what we call patience, we are actually expanding our vibrational field, expanding our awareness, and it's becoming something much greater than we previously experienced. Now, we may go right back to the old way, and that's okay, because that's part of the journey. Learning to be very kind with ourselves and gentle and love ourselves is one of the angels and archangels' greatest teaching opportunities for us.
That is absolutely true.
Mm.
But sometimes, but so letting go of our expectations, especially time-related expectations, or even expectations about how things have to happen, because sometimes we ask for something, then something else appears and say, oh, I didn't ask for that. That's strange. So we are very limited. We don't have the bigger picture. And instead, I think we should trust the angels, archangels, and in this case, Archangel Sandalphon, because if a prayer is fulfilled, even in a different way, that means that that is the best way for you, for me, for Anayah, for everybody. So that is so important. So we really have to understand that we can ask, we must ask it, because otherwise nothing happens. And but then we have to let it go. We have to let the universe work for us.
Yeah.
And that is like really magic. It is true. Our energy is expanding, and we it's like a confidence building process. So
Mm.
we
That's a
become
good way of putting it. I
trust.
really love that. I really love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we build our confidence. So with each step of the way, we become more, you know, confident about the whole process. And our relationship with the angels and the archangels, in this case Archangel Sandalphon, is becomes deeper and deeper. And it is wonderful when you have a deep relationship with these magical and incredible celestial beings, because they are so loving and so powerful that we really can be helped. We are not alone. That is
No.
that is wonderful. We are not alone. Sometimes we feel alone here,
Yeah.
but we are not.
Sometimes we feel desperately alone, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we do. Yeah.
But Anayah, do you have any particular experience with Archangel Sandalphon that you want to share with us?
I do. And I'm just sharing this to my page, and we have some people. We've got someone watching. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but we've got someone with us from Florida and Debbie with us from Belfast. So
Oh,
thank you
I
both for
love
joining
that.
us. Yes, letting us know that you're with us. I just want to pop this onto my page as well, guys, so that all my lovely friends as well will know that they can tune in and watch us right now. There we go. It's on its way. So
Yeah.
working with Archangel Sandalphon has been really amazing. And I did have an incredible experience, actually. One of Sandalphon's, as you say, his role is about wishes fulfilled. He's the deliverer of prayers, right? So his job and responsibility is when we pray for something, when we wish for something, when we ask for something, it's wonderful because what he does is it's like he gathers those beautiful prayers and hopes and dreams up and takes them directly to Creator, to God, to heaven. Okay. And they're safe and they're loved and nurtured and it's instant. So the other thing that he helps us with is to stay very grounded in that, because the energy of being connected to the celestial realms can be very ungrounding. And because we're here to learn as a human being, we also need to make sure we're very, very grounded. So I was talking with Sandalphon today, actually, and I asked Sandalphon to connect me and ground me very deeply into the earth, but then move me also into the higher realms. And I got this very vivid impression of myself being stretched, being stretched and stretched. And as I was being stretched, I became almost like a beautiful piece of glass. Have you seen molten glass? Anybody blowing glass or
Beautiful.
using glass with flame? It stretches and it's malleable and it changes and it's really incredible.
Yeah.
And all this rainbow energy started to be infused.
How beautiful.
It was amazing. And I understood in that moment that all the limits I place on myself are all valuable in their own way because I'm learning to grow through them. But I've got this magnificent support system in place, Sandalphon being part of that support system to help me have the connection to the higher realms, spiritually speaking, yet remain very grounded so that I'm not lost in it.
Yes.
I function and move within it and have the experience of the expansion while grounded. It's very powerful.
Yes. Yes. It is important to be grounded because we need angels here. So it's wonderful to to be connected to the higher realms. That of course gives us a lot of energy, high frequency, but we have to bring these frequencies into our world so that our world becomes 5D instead of 3D, but always in this world, because we have to live here. We have to go through the limitations. We can actually go beyond some of these limitations with our help, but always in this world, because otherwise it becomes not really useful. What we need, we really need angels to help us here, to grow, to become more expansive, to become better human beings, to become more loving, and to bring something important to the world. Important does not mean big or amazing, even something very little every day, a flower, a thing of beauty. a nice thought, a nice gesture towards another person or a pet, an animal, anything
Yeah.
will do. So they really help us do that every single day. And Archangel Sandalphon is so loving and so supportive in everything we do. Is in our wishes. He doesn't judge us. Whatever wish we have, even very, petty wishes, or even material wishes, why not? Because we are also surrounded by material things. So we may wish to have a beautiful car, why not? And
Exactly.
exactly, I mean, he doesn't judge. He's never judging. He's always loving. He takes our wishes and desires, whatever these wishes and desires are, and he brings them to heaven, to the higher realms, to God, to the source, to the quantum field. And there they are nurtured. It is as if one day I had this image in my mind. I always prepare my bread. I have a special leaven that I keep it in the fridge, and then I every single week I prepare bread for the family, which I love. It's something I love. I love doing. And the image came to me that um, we prepare the wishes like the dough, and then the dough goes to this incredible place called the quantum field, and the size increases and everything, and it's ready to be baked. So that
Mm.
that that was very strange, but that was the feeling I had. That was the image I had about our wishes, that it is something that at the beginning is just raw material, but
Yeah,
then it is like worked and then processed, and then it becomes something completely different, something completely delicious. And so we have to trust that this is already happening now. And some of our wishes have already been fulfilled, but we don't know that.
exactly.
Terrible,
Mm.
because we sometimes are not able to see. Isn't
Yeah,
that?
and sorry, I get very excited.
Yes,
Now, guys, you'll notice me looking away, doing things. I'm answering people,
good.
that kind of thing. Yeah. So, um, and it's such a great example, Silver, because the bread, look, the way it rises, it's alchemy.
Yes, exactly. It's
Yes,
alchemy.
one thing to another, something that is heavy and dense, and it sits there, and as it rises, it becomes more and more recognizable as potential bread. And the experience of having wishes, material desires, needs. This is a beautiful thing. And I think we've gotten quite caught up in feeling like it's not really a spiritual part of our it's not part of our spiritual nature to enjoy this aspect. Well, of course it is.
Yes,
It's how to enjoy something and have so much gratitude, how to share with gratitude, in
exactly.
as opposed to this thing is the holy grail for me, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
learning how to do that is it's a bit tricky for us, but it's a very beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And I think we should not be ashamed of that.
Mm.
And I think it's perfectly normal because we are human beings and we have different needs. And each one of us has even secret desires. Why not? Even the wildest desire. Yesterday, I want to tell you because this is something I saw a wonderful film by Paolo Sorrentino. He was the one who won the Oscar for The Great Beauty. I don't know whether you saw that film. That is beautiful. And this film is actually even better because he talks about his experience as a child, and he lost his family in a tragic way and he remained completely alone. But then he said, so somebody asked him, but do you have a really crazy desire? And of course, he said, yes, my crazy desire is to be a film director. And actually, he became a very successful film director. But at that time, this was very unlikely. He was living in Naples, far away from other big cities. He was not from a filmmaking family. He was not even that rich. And he had lost his parents. He was completely, practically alone. So all the odds were actually stacked heavily against him. And but that crazy desire that was a raw material, and then it became something real, because this was so strong for him that he did whatever he could to become a director. And he became, probably the fact of having this crazy desire and this crazy drive made him a very, very successful director. But it is wonderful and also that this actually occurred to me. It's in the morning here, so it's very early. So when I woke up this morning, this was the thought I had in my mind, that even crazy desires are absolutely feasible. And we should not be ashamed of that, because some people say, oh, this crazy desire is really crazy, isn't it? I'll never be able to do that. Is that right, Anayah?
Absolutely. And sometimes people are ashamed of what it is they really, really want, because they feel like, well, this makes me a very selfish or shallow person, not realizing that we are alchemists. The alchemy of dreaming, wishing, praying is very powerful and extremely beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I want to share something that really happened with Sandalphon another time. I had a very difficult business decision to make, and I really didn't know where to go. And I knew that, so a contract had been unilaterally terminated, and by central authorities, so I could do nothing about it, this powerful institutions. And so, and the new conditions were not really very good for me. So I was really worried. I say, oh my God, what are we going to do and everything? So I asked the Sandalphon, please, Sandalphon, let me have the best possible conditions I can have. Then 2 days afterwards, a man, I contacted one of the persons from this institution, and he got back to me, and he suggested the most amazing idea that I could have never imagined, to reduce, the price as much as possible. And this worked. And
Yes.
I could have never even imagined that. I mean, something that I would have never thought about it. But this actually materialized because I really I asked Sandalphon, please do whatever you can to create the best conditions. In fact, I didn't even know the conditions. And this happened. But when I was formulating this prayer, I felt inside that this prayer had been fulfilled.
Wow.
It was magical. It was really magical. So I think you should all try, because Sandalphon is there for everybody, not for me, not for Anaya. It's just for everyone. He's always there for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
Absolutely. And the really great thing, I love what you're sharing. And, as we are asking, again, it's expansive energy. Because if we don't ask, it's like having a voice and never using it.
Yes.
It's having this opportunity, it needs willingness. Working with any spiritual being and working with the angels, working with the archangels, it requires willingness. And there have been times like you where I have gone way out. Look, Angel Heart Radio actually is one of those times. I went right out on a limb when the messages kept coming through to create Angel Heart Radio. I was beside myself with terror. I had spent so much of my life trying to hide away and not really reveal who I am. And suddenly I was being asked to do this globally, right? So part of me thought, no, this will be okay because no one will listen. And then the other part of me thought, what if someone does listen? So I was sort of, going between that fear, one fear and another fear. And the most incredible thing happened back in the day when we started as a podcast. This is how the angels work, everyone, and the archangels. when I began this was in 2010. So technology was very, very different then. It wasn't easy like it is now to broadcast. It required quite a lot. And one of the specifications for the platform I was broadcasting from was you had about 2 minutes to get on your show live at your allotted time. If you missed that window, that was it for the day. You could then try again tomorrow, but that was it. So about 2 minutes. I couldn't get on to broadcast, and I was just terrified. I didn't know what to do, and I was so new, and I felt stupid. What am I doing wrong? What, that human thing that we go through. It turned out that there was a major audience waiting, and no one could hear me for 27 minutes, even though I haven't activated the show. I was only supposed to have about 2 minutes. 27 minutes went by, and I finally was able to contact someone, say, what have I done wrong? And they said, you've forgotten to call in as the host. I was so scared I'd actually forgotten to call in, right? So that was such a miracle. It expanded well beyond that 2-minute deadline. And I have experienced that where I was late for a show because I couldn't get on. Boom, it's gone. The opportunity, the window closes for the day. So I was shown very, very clearly right from the word go that Angel Heart Radio was a beautiful opportunity for me and for so many others. Who knew 11 years later we'd still be going and we would have you. And then I got the message from the one day that said you will have a non-English speaking program. And I was so excited about this. And I thought,
yes, I have my program in Italian as well.
Yes, you do.
Yes, and in fact, I will also share a program on Sandalphon in Italian because in Italy there are many people very interested in angels. We come from a Catholic background generally, and angels are very much present in our religion, even though people tend to not get in touch with angels after childhood. Generally, angel prayers are very typical for children, but then when you go on, I don't know why. I really don't know why, but that is what happens. So many people would like to reconnect with them, but in Italy we don't have so much material and so many books translated into Italian. We do have some, but not many. And so I actually felt that it was good for me to have a program in Italian, and in fact I'm very happy I'm doing it. And but and also my meeting with Anayah was just a miracle, and it was another miracle. And I didn't even express this wish. I was always listening to Angel Heart Radio because it is so full of insight and wisdom. And one day I just felt the urge to talk to Anayah, to write to her, and she came back to me, and that's why I'm here. It's just a miracle. It was not even a wish. Probably it was something that had to be done, and it was already in the quantum field, and so this was fulfilled, and it is a wonderful opportunity. But in any case, I would like to share with you a simple prayer that we can all do to Archangel Sandalphon. Close your eyes and think about something you really deeply desire, whatever it is. Breathe. Ground yourself. Imagine you have very, very long roots grounding you to the core of the earth. And imagine that a wonderful white shining light is coming from the heart of the universe through your crown chakra into your heart, body, feet, connecting you to the core of the earth. And we are perfectly connected now. And now let's call upon Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon, I have this deep desire, and I ask you to take this desire and bring it to heavens, to the source, to the quantum field, where it is fulfilled. And now I let go of all the expectations as to when and how my prayer is fulfilled. And so it is, so it will be, or even something better, with ease, grace, and joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's beautiful.
It is that simple.
It is that simple. And you know, when you said and you release without the expectations, I had this field. You know, when you blow soap bubbles?
Yes.
I had all these beautiful bubbles of all sizes. They had that rainbow hue, you know, when the light catches them.
Yeah.
They were just floating away. They're so delicate and so strong at the same time. And it's magnificent because even as they burst, you think they're gone, but they're not. They've transformed.
Exactly.
They still exist. The energy is still there.
Absolutely.
We tend to be quite black and white, don't we? It's there or it's not.
Yes.
And Archangel Sandalphon helps us to recognize that there are levels of experience and that we are always experiencing. So what is it we truly want to experience? What are our wishes? What are our prayers? And to be generous and kind with them, right?
Absolutely.
Take them into our hearts and nurture them like, you know, something that we treasure, because we need to treasure ourselves.
Absolutely. There is something we can do if we are impatient like me. So it's wonderful to have a prayer book, in the sense that you can actually write down your prayer, and then you release your prayer to Sandalphon, you know, to heavens, and then you write down when that prayer is fulfilled. Yeah. And you will see, and because I did it, and you will see with no doubt how these wonderful things happen. It's just magic.
It is magic.
Sometimes, and if one prayer is not fulfilled immediately, it means that is not the time, that is not the moment to have that desire fulfilled. So, but you know, I think this kind of diary is really interesting, because you can actually see with your eyes what is happening. So sometimes we forget. We even forget about our prayers. Yeah. Sometimes something happens and say, why is this happening? Oh my God. Oh yes. Oh, I asked for that a couple of months ago. And then you forget. So if you write them down and see what happens, it's magical. It's really magical. All the dots being connected. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's so true. And there's a form you've probably heard of doing the same kind of thing, where you begin a wish jar, a gratitude jar at the beginning of the year. And actually, you can do this at the end of the year as well. You can write down on a piece of paper everything you're willing to release and come to peace with. So anyway, I did one of these jars and I was writing down all these wonderful things that I wanted to experience or have. Again, remember, it's okay to want to have things through the year.
The jar is wonderful.
It was brilliant because you just add to it as you go along.
Yes.
And there's also a form of it called a something for God to do box. it goes in, you let it go and you just hand it over. So anyway, by the end of the year, I thought, oh, I wonder what's in the jar. I can't remember what I was amazed at how many things had actually transpired. And I knew the ones that hadn't were transpiring, or maybe they had come in a different form. Maybe, and some of them I could see were actually no longer important to me for one reason or another.
Yeah.
So it's a
Absolutely.
very magical thing. And I love that word. And I think it's a great word, and it's a great energy, and it's a really brilliant thing to experience that and to acknowledge that. Just as I'd like to acknowledge all these lovely people who were with us.
Oh, yeah.
It's lovely to have your company. And I want to tell you something now as well. I don't know whether I've ever shared this with you before, Silver, but when you first started expressing to me that there were a lot of people in Italy, as you said before, who were very interested in angels and angel content and don't necessarily have access to a lot because of my website, angellight777.com. Once you brought that energy in, and I don't know whether you told people about it, I have no idea, but suddenly I get so many visitors from Italy.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And regular visitors from Italy. And it's really exciting for me because the idea of this website is to provide wonderful content, free content for people who are interested in angels or passionate about angels, or maybe they're not really sure and they'd like to find out more. There are beautiful guided meditations there. There's so many different things there. And it's just incredible. And I did nothing to bring those people in from Italy.
Good.
Have that connection with you and then realize there's a need there. Angels,
yes,
please take us there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is a need also because some people are ashamed of sharing their experience with angels. Sometimes they have incredible experiences. When I talk to people, sometimes their stories are so amazing that I think they're really worth sharing because they can actually help other people, becoming more in tuned with angels. It is very, very important. So I love doing this because I really love angels. They really help me, and I think I want to share back some of the wonderful stories I know about my personal experience, but also other people's experience, because I see that many people have already a deep connection with angels, but many of them are afraid of sharing.
Yeah.
Which of course, why not? It's wonderful.
But I remember that. I was working in a crystal shop years ago now, and I was working with the angels, but I never really told anybody. And people
Yes.
say, "What do you do?" And I'd think of something. I work in a crystal shop or something like that. And one day someone came in and said, "What do you do, Anayah?" And I heard the angel say, "Tell them." So I said, "I work with the angelic realms." And they said, "Oh, isn't that fantastic? I'm really interested and I'd love to know more." This was at least 15 years ago. So again, times were slightly different then. Not as many people were expressing what they did in the world like this, in this way. And it showed me so clearly. Keep it simple. You know that saying, keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Well, I don't really like that. And the angel said, no, keep it simple, sweetheart.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, keep it simple, sweetheart. So
Yes.
I just kept it simple and said, this is what I do. And from there, everything started opening up and people just started coming in because they wanted to talk to the angel lady.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
beautiful,
true.
really beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience, and it's practical. It's not something airy fairy that just belongs to another world. It's something that really helps us live better every single day. Of course, I forget many times. I was telling Anayah many times, I said, oh my God, how is it? Wah! And then, oh, I should have asked my angels. And 100% of the times, things work so much better. I can tell you.
Hands
That's,
down.
yes.
Hands down.
Sometimes we forget because I think we're very stubborn. I don't know why. Isn't that
So
true?
true. But actually that stubbornness has a really great value to us, because it shows us so clearly when we are stubborn and are unwilling to move within the greater field of energy that is already with us, is us, right?
Yes, exactly.
And then when we release that and we become willing to move with more grace and harmony, how much better things are. So it's actually a valuable learning tool. It just doesn't feel very valuable at the time, right?
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, what am I doing?
I remember one day I'd lost something. And so, I mean, this is Archangel Shamuel, because he's the finding angel. But I called on Shamuel and I said, can you please reveal clearly and quickly to me where this thing is? And it said, it's in the drawer. And I said, no, it's not. And it said, it's in the drawer. I said, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not there. I had taken every item out of the drawer. It wasn't there. I was getting so cross and so cranky. Shamuel, it's not there. I'm telling you. Why aren't you listening? I just kept saying, look in the drawer, look in the drawer. I got quite huffy. So in the end, I said, right, I'll look in that drawer and I'm going to prove you wrong. Well, I opened the drawer and it was sitting right on top. This was a magnificent lesson. Just because you know something to be true doesn't mean to say it's true.
No, it's absolutely, well, this happened to me a lot, many times, especially with lost things, because I lose everything. But I'm very confident about parking. Parking spaces in Rome is like finding treasure. Okay, so finding a parking space in Rome is one of the most difficult things you can have. So whenever I go to the center and I need some parking space, I am never worried because I'm so confident that something will come up. And I have another sister who never finds any parking space. And she said, why are you always finding parking space? And I always tell her, because I have a special angel. I always ask him to find parking space, and he finds parking space for me. And she says, oh, my sister is crazy, but it works.
It does.
It works.
It actually does work, even if you don't believe it will work. Now, you might hold it up a bit by not following your instinct. If they say turn left instead of turn right, for example, that's okay. You will get through that. But even if you don't believe it's going to work, it works, because we're asking. And I did find a parking space once that was very difficult to get into. It was a little bit small for my car. And so I learned to ask for, I say, thank you for my perfect park. That's it. So now I know it will actually be perfect for whatever vehicle I'm in.
Yes, you have a kind of expanding.
It's exactly right. And I know sometimes I'll get a feeling to slow down and just maybe just go much slower instead of driving at the normal speed. And I know that's because someone's on their way to their car, or they're in their car. They haven't indicated that they're leaving yet. We become much more, the faith grows much stronger, doesn't it, Syl Ver, as we take this journey?
Yes, it's a confidence building process. I mean, the more you work with angels and the more you can actually prove to yourself that these things are actually true in your reality, the more confidence you have and the deeper the relationship. So at a certain point, it becomes absolutely part of your life. For me, they are. I mean, even if sometimes I forget, but they're very much part of my life. And I'm so grateful because, they have really transformed my life. Yes, I was always very anxious and, always in a hurry. But especially when I have too much work to do, I always ask my angels, please, can you help me work with grace and ease so that I'm not really overwhelmed? And it works.
It does. Yeah. I didn't know at the time I was working with Archangel Sandalphon, but I came to understand later that that's who was assisting me many, many, many years ago, before I started working with the angels like I do now. My relationship with my father wasn't very strong. We're actually quite similar. And, so we would always argue. We couldn't see each other's point of view. We were always trying to make each other see the other person's point of view. It was very difficult. And I found it very distressing. And, I just really wanted to have a better relationship with my father. So I started working with angels and divine beings, and I was guided to write a letter to my father, not to express, anything's wrong or whatever, but I wrote a letter to my father, and I shared with him all the things that he taught me, big things and little things. And it felt really wonderful. And I decided I was going to post it. And my dad wasn't a man who expressed his emotion at that time. I posted the letter. He never responded. Yet our relationship changed and blossomed. And I learned later that he cried when he read it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so Archangel Sandalphon was delivering my prayer.
Yes,
To
absolutely.
my Father and to my Heavenly Father. How beautiful is that?
Yes.
It's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. This is a beautiful, beautiful story. And you see, there are so many examples of help, of support that can be shared. If you have some, please do. In this case, with Archangel Sandalphon, but with any other angels or archangels. Because these experiences help other people to be more confident and to venture in this magical world. It is a magical world, really.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. So on the the replay is available all the time, of course. So head on over to our Facebook page, everyone. If you're not already there, we'd love to have you with us. It's a loving community. And in this particular live stream, in the comments section, as Sylver said, please do feel very, very welcome to share your own experiences as
Absolutely.
well.
It's very important because many people would like to share these experiences, but they don't have the courage. They don't have the people to talk to sometimes, because even if they go to a priest, sometimes they're not really understood. It's strange, isn't it? That even in religious circles, sometimes it is not that easy to talk about these things. But
and that's why we have a bigger community. We have our priests, or whoever it is, our rabbis, whoever it might be, that we turn to for spiritual guidance and support. And sometimes we feel that we mustn't go beyond that. But I want to just say, for your own consideration, I'm certainly not telling you what to do. Maybe consider the blessing that is around every single corner, on angel wings, because, so much is being granted to us, so many possibilities, so much love exists. Why not embrace it for yourself? And you don't even have to tell anyone. It can be a very private moment. And just notice how your own life begins to change and grow and blossom. Because that's the trademark of the angels, isn't it? And the archangels.
Absolutely. Yes. It's a new way of living.
Yeah. It's a great way of living. Oh, yes, I don't know how I ever got through. Honestly, life was very, very hard for me before I discovered.
A lot of humor also. Sometimes a lot of humor also. Something so incredible. Sometimes I laugh. I say, oh my God, come on.
They've got the best sense of humor. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, Anayah, for being with us, for being with me today, and with all the people who have followed us. And thank you, really, because it was a wonderful experience. And I hope that we can do this again with another archangel or angel. And I would like to tell my friends that I'm going to have this program again in Italian on Sandalphon, because I want to share his wonderful energy and his wonderful way of supporting us in every single way. And please stay tuned, because Angel Heart Radio is a wonderful source of wisdom and peace and love. And I'm very happy to be part of this family.
Oh, we are so blessed by you. You bring something so bountiful, is the only word I can really express.
Thank you.
To Angel Heart Radio and to our lives, because we have the opportunity to learn from you as well. I watch your program often to learn from you as well, Syl Ver. It's a really beautiful thing. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you very soon, in 15 days, with my program in Italian. Thank you. Thank you, Anayah.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.